It seemed like, look, first of all, basketball is the only sport that ends up with these dumb conversations. Where, like nobody's going around talking about, like, baseball doesn't have we don't talk about who the best baseball player was, right? I mean, and we don't really talk about who the best.
Baby Ruth.
We don't even talk about who the best quarterback is. Like, we don't, Peyton Manning, he'll never be Tom Brady. Tom Brady will never be Joe Montana. There's a little of it, but we don't get into
we have
this.
our quarterbacks.
We have it with the quarterbacks, but there isn't that. In basketball, it's always, and it always gets people mad.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just in basketball.
You know, yeah, you're right. The difference is there's no direct comparison fight over it. There's just more. In football, it's like, you know, you think great quarterbacks, you list off those five guys, but you don't go, Steve Young, no fucking way. You know,
Steve Young's 8, he's not 6, it's bullshit.
Okay, so it's a great point, but why is that exactly?
I don't know. It's one of the things I like least about NBA basketball, because we, and the league marketed it this way, and Magic and Bird started it.
Definitely.
But we, you know, and Dr. J to some extent too, and Kareem, but we talk about the players, the guys, and we talk less about the teams. And I've always been much more interested in the teams. Growing up as a Bullets fan, and when they won the title in '78, that was a team. They had a Hall of Famer, 2 of them on the team, but those guys weren't, you know, Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes weren't players like that. Yeah. And they were all both also late in their careers. So this was unquestionably a team, and it had just the right parts. And the Bullets made a couple of trades and got exactly the right guys. And that's why, for years, I think, you know, some people, at least fans like me, latch on to these teams that suddenly play well without a great star on them, like the early part of this year, the Blazers, who were to me a ton of fun to watch, and but they play, the ball moves, they play great team basketball. So do the Thunder. You know, the Thunder also, even though they have 2 elite players, they play pretty well.
A dispute over who's the best and all this stuff, and the ranking in NBA versus NFL.
Yeah.
You know what? You got, again, I'm thinking about the quarterbacks. You have those guys, and they compete against linebackers, cornerbacks. You know, those are guys they're beating with their passing game, at least. In basketball, it's direct. The one plays the one, and as soon as you play offense, you play defense against that same guy. There's a direct thing like, who's the best point guard? Because this point guard played against that point guard, or if they played against each other, there'd be an offense switching straight to a defense. Colin Kaepernick never plays against Russell Wilson, you know?
Right.
So there's never can he beat him in what? It's a different kind of look to the game.
The only way that they would play against each other is if they played against the same defense every single time. That could be the direct comparison.
The defense changes the way they play, different week, different guys are hurt.
It's so much different. There's so many other characteristics that come into it. So I think that's why, because there's such a, in basketball, you can play one-on-one. I beat you, I'm one-on-one. You know, there's a direct thing. There's no one-on-one.
Is it media-driven? Is that basically what we're saying?
Media-driven. The players like it, the league likes it, everybody gets into it. But I mean, I would rather see, I think we all would. I think we'd rather, you know, a great move by Kevin Durant that causes the defense to collapse on him, and then he dishes to Serge Ibaka for an easy layup, to me is better than him making that move and posterizing somebody. It just is. It's more interesting to me.
Well, you also don't like dunking.
No, I don't mind dunking. I don't like the posturing after the dunk. You know.
What posturing is that? Can you give us an example?
No, I cannot.
Why not?
As a courtesy to everyone.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna fucking do what you say, bitch. Like, we don't need any of that.
But you know, I think that's ended when it's directly at someone. That's totally ended. It's more there's a scream and a roar and a you know and a
playing up to the crowd.
Like, it's never at someone anymore. It used to be.
Like I like a moment of exhilaration with it.